Well, I guess I paid attention in school in my supply and demand class in economics. I've always believed that when you ran too many units, you created an oversupply, and when you create an oversupply in anything, that means rates are going to go down. The airline business finally figured that out roughly 5 years ago. They were just giving seats away like crazy, and as they started to reduce capacity, I think every airline at one point was losing money, but as they reduced capacity, they started to be able to charge more for those seats and get back into a situation where they were making money. And that doesn't even take into consideration the fact that from an audience standpoint, we all grew up knowing that there's a limit to how many commercials an audience is going to sit through. And so, I don't know if I feel that it's vindication, actually, as much as it's supply and demand. That law is never going to be repealed. I don't care how many ways you want to slice the units. When it's too much, it's too much. Well, I think it's a big issue. I mean, when you look at the fact that our main competitors, and especially in new media space, are either commercial free or they're low commercials. Pandora runs commercials, it just doesn't run very many of them. Those are big competitors in the space. Satellites out there with commercial-free music. So probably as much at any time in the history of radio, commercials are a big issue. And how many do we run and how much do we charge for them? It's a big debate that's going to be ongoing. But if you want to look at it just from a competitive standpoint, it is a very, very big issue. Frankly, people listen to music so they can listen to music. And if the commercial load gets to be too much, they're going to move more to these alternative sources, and that would not be a good thing. I hate them like poison. No, it hasn't changed. I mean, basically Nielsen just kind of took over the ship and changed the flag. And while I think there's been some discussion about sample sizes, the reality is that in PPM, literally the #1 station in a market in middays might have 6 meters in play at any given time. That's craziness. I mean, it's just absolute nuts that a sample size could get that small. It makes the data unreliable, and at the same time, the flaws that have existed in PPM are still there. So I don't think there's been any change about it with Nielsen taking over. Absolutely, PPM is bad for creativity. Again, in a PPM environment, I go back to Y106, we could never take that risk in a PPM environment with personalities that were going to, do 30, 40-second bits and phone calls with listeners. The current measurement works against that. And it's a little different in talk radio because people expect it, but right now on music radio, PPM has definitely added to the decline of personalities because everybody is afraid to let personalities do anything that isn't over a ramp. They're afraid of it because they can see what happens when they see the measurement. So, you've got to play the game that you're given. We played it for years in the diary. And unfortunately, PPM, what's scary about it, what's even more scary to me is that by playing to the methodology, we kill off what makes terrestrial radio special. What makes terrestrial radio special has always been engagement in the community, the personalities, the secret sauce, if you will, that was between the records. And so the notion that that is going to be removed because we have to play to this measurement game could in turn end up causing terrestrial radio to decline faster because by playing that game we sound more like our more music competitors, and we'll never win that game because we play more commercials than they do.